Sarah Lynn is asking about testing, and if you can't afford the mycotoxins lab, can you go by the visual contrast test? So if anybody doesn't know about, I think it's vcstest.com, I'll put the link with this video. You can go here, it's 10 or 15 bucks, and as biotoxins from mold affect your brain and your vision, we seem to lose the ability to see contrast properly. So this is a test you do on the screen. It shows you images with lines, and you got to pick, are they going left, are they going right, are they up and down? And the contrast changes it to make it harder and harder to see which lines those are going. And at the end, if you fail it, it says you're likely affected by a biotoxin illness, which doesn't mean just mold toxicity. It could also be Lyme disease, but tells you something's up. It's commonly used in mold. So Sarah Lynn was asking, can we just treat and avoid all the expensive tests because they have failed the visual contrast test? So yes, you absolutely can. My only concern is ruling out Lyme, because especially with kids and people that have been chronic with mold for a long time, I always like to check and rule out Lyme, because if it is there and you don't know about Lyme and co-infections and you're just treating mold, you could just spin your wheels and get nowhere, because this is a giant beast on your shoulder, as is this. And if you only know about one, not the other, it makes your road to recovery almost impossible. Sometimes it can work if you're in the right position, but I always like to know everything you're dealing with, right? So the biggest thing here, Sarah Lynn, is to make sure you're out of the moldy house. You can't, if your whole family's sick and you're failing visual contrast test, your ability to make progress and keep it while living in mold is almost zero for most people. Some kids, you can bounce them, but then they're just going to come back down again when you stop, right? So the biggest thing is to make sure if you're in a clean house now, that you've done an Ermion and you know there's no hidden problems and you're not breathing in a lot of toxic mycotoxins and spores, then yeah, by all means treat. Since that's your only financially viable option, treat them. You're going to do liver support, poop support, gut support, cover all those basics just so that you're healing their gut, you're increasing drainage, and you're binding toxins, okay? And if you're in a clean space and you know it's clean and they're getting better, you're good, all right? But if that's not the case, I would say it may require a little more money. Unfortunately, this stuff costs a fortune. Every part of it does. The testing does. The supplements do. But that's how we can move the fastest and know what we're doing is right. Because if we know the problem, we can then come up with a proper protocol, and then we're able to retest and measure that progress. But by all means, the biggest thing, clean air. If you're in a clean space, then you can just go by symptoms, and that saves you the cost of the expensive tests. I hope that helps, Sarah Lynn.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.